Alright, so now we are on the second tier list of the night, which is the Best Godzilla Battleline Combos tier list. Okay, so we're just going to go down the line, starting with the first Biollante one all the way down to Mothra. So, Biollante and Gigan. I think that's a very good combo. I think Biollante and Gigan is A tier. I think it's very situational. I thought the Biollante video wasn't going to get that many views. I didn't think it was either, honestly, because of the time I uploaded it, but it is getting a lot of views. So, you know what? People like your strategy. I've been getting messages saying people have been using it, and it's been working out for them. So, thank you, Echan, for helping us out with that one. But your video has convinced me that Gigan and Biollante are top. What is the next one? Kong and Biollante. Kong and Biollante, someone brought up to me after they watched the video that I did with Echan. And they said that because of Kong's buff in the water, it's just as good, but I disagree. I think it is decent. I don't think it is the best. All fun and games until they counter with Kamacuras. Yeah, there you go. You can counter any of these three Biollante ones with Kamacuras super easy. And speaking of countering them, the Biollante and King Caesar, I think is C tier. I didn't include it on this list, but if you pair King Caesar with another one of these units, either Gigan or Kong, it can be very powerful. It's just very expensive to do King Caesar and Kong, or King Caesar and Gigan, and then also the Biollante ability. However, if you use Biollante's ability, it lasts for 40 seconds, whether or not you put the unit on the ground at the time of you using the ability or not. So super usable, very expensive to do 2 and Biollante's ability, but I think Gigan and Biollante is the best of these three options. What about Manila and Ghidorah for the stun and just letting Ghidorah attack the units? Listen, great strategy. Wasn't brought up to me when I made the list. But if I had to rank Manila and Ghidorah, I think it would be A tier or S tier. S tier probably for the stun and the nuke from Ghidorah. But it all depends on the Manila's level, because if he's too under level, he's going to die really fast. And if he's high enough level, he's going to be an absolute murder machine. So that strategy really is dependent on how strong your Manila is, not how strong your Ghidorah is. Because Ghidorah is usable at level 4. Level 2, 3, 4, 5, Ghidorah is usable. But Manila really takes a while to get going because he is not that much health. Next is Terrestris and Mothra Larva. And the reason it's not Ultima and Mothra Imago is because that on maps with water, if there are no buildings to destroy, Terrestris will move in a straight line. And if you put Mothra Larva right in front of him, he cannot move past Mothra Larva. So he will go as slow as she does, and it will prevent him from running towards the enemies and evolving. I think it's B tier. I think it is very, very strong on maps like London or Skull Island, where there's a lot of water, where you can way decrease the movement speed. When you absolutely shut down movement on Mothra Larva, she is so slow. You've had moments where he pushes Mothra Larva. Yeah, he'll like push her forwards, but he's not going to go around her unless there's a building in his whatever the radius length is that he would destroy the buildings. Because I've used this on Skull Island, right? And eventually he'll just target the bones in the middle and peel off, and then this combo ends. But if those are already destroyed, say you hit him with the missiles or the train or Godzilla 89 earlier in the match, either these two units on the side will help. It'll help both of them evolve. And you just got a 4-star map. You hope you get Goji 21, Space Godzilla, or JJ. I hope you get Goji 2021. I know how much you've been wanting him. All right, next are the Jet Jaguar combos. Jet Jaguar Leader and Ultima. Jet Jaguar Leader and Ultima is kind of the same as Biollante and Gigan. I would say it's A tier. Right now, the two strongest units in the game are definitely Ultima and Ghidorah, and I don't mean strongest as in stats. I mean strongest as in just like absolute death machines. A tier because they attack from distance. Yeah. So, well, Jet Jaguar in this case is a leader, right? Jet Jaguar as a unit with Ultima also I would count as A tier, but specifically this is as a leader because he can increase the movement speed of ranged units. So because Ultima is a great damage dealer and sits right outside the zone of attack for, I think all of the leaders, getting the push of Ultima straight into the kill zone is huge, especially if you can back him up with other units. So definitely A tier. I would say S tier, but it is pretty expensive, and you have to account for also evolving into Ultima, and that could take a while. You remember when Macros took out Ultima? Good times, good times. Ghidorah and Jet Jaguar has got to be S tier. Oh yeah, Ghidorah and Jet Jaguar is S tier. Ghidorah, amazing on his own. Jet Jaguar, amazing on his own. But the reason it's S tier is because of Jet Jaguar's counter, and he's a little bit faster. So say you're going up against an opponent, Mecha Godzilla, right? Or even a Jet Jaguar. Or I'm sorry, not Jet Jaguar, a King Ghidorah. If Jet Jaguar reaches them first, he can counter them. He can block them for at least a little while, stall, until your Ghidorah or your other units pull up. Jet Jaguar is amazing at tanking, and he has no health. But he can just eat shots like it was no one's business. So definitely S tier on that one. Ghidorah and Mothra is A tier. Killer combination of units. Actually, S tier. They're killer combination of units, and they just do work. The only downside is you have to evolve from Mothra Larva into Mothra Imago, which can be pretty difficult. And this one is actually a trio that was suggested, which is Ghidorah, Mothra, and Rodan. And I'm going to put it in A tier because it does everything that the... I'll put it in B tier. It does everything that the Mothra and Ghidorah combo does, except now you're also including Rodan, which can also be a pain because of his attack speed. And it would be A tier. I'm gonna give it B tier only because of the energy cost. It is a trio, and one of them is a 6 cost. It is very expensive. Just to get Ghidorah and Mothra on the field is full 10 energy, right? And then to get Rodan, he's coming in a little bit later. He's not making the big first push. So it's going to get B tier because honestly, Rodan is just accessory to murder at that point. He's not even one of the main murderers. He's just a witness at that point. But it was a combo that was recommended, so we're putting it on the list. Next is Ghidorah and Space Godzilla, and this all is revolving around Space Godzilla's crystal buff. Now, I personally haven't used it too much myself, but I'm getting reports that at a close enough range, if you can group them together, they'll do work. The crystal buff to King Ghidorah is insane because it's not like he needs any more power. I was genuinely surprised at how much damage Mothra does. She took out my Ghidorah surprisingly fast, albeit he did a bunch of damage to her. Yeah, Mothra has gone from one of the best, or if not the best, leader to now the worst leader and one of the best units, which is a crazy flop, but that's what happens. But you want to do those combos later on? I would be down to try. If I decide to stay on after these tier lists, sure. There was someone in line ahead of you, Madoru Uchiha, wanted to do a friendly battle, so we'll see. Next is Ghidorah and Ultima, S tier. Notice there's a pattern with all the S tiers. Ghidorah and Ultima is crazy. They're the two best units in the game right now. Very expensive combo. It's 12 energy to put out. They're both 6-star, and also Ultima has to evolve from Terrestris. But they're the two most damaging characters in the game right now. Very deadly combo, and a Ghidorah at 4 stars and Ultima at 5 are like unkillable. That group, and then by the time you have them up, you're just throwing in your reserve units. So it's one of the best combos in the game. It's literally, I see it every single game. Next, D tier is Mecha Godzilla and the facilities. The facilities are kind of expensive and they're terrible. And then Mecha Godzilla is a great leader and his ability is good for the pushback. But his passive only affects the facilities and they're not good. So I would say if you use either of these two facilities in the current meta, you're actively hurting your chances of winning a match. And finally is the fall from grace that is Mothra and Godzilla 89. Godzilla 89, still great character to use. However, Mothra, not a great leader anymore because of the 4-star buffs, and especially from Ghidorah and Ultima that can attack from outside of the attack range of leaders. They just drill into her with her low health, and it is just not just not anything that you want to be messing with, especially with a low health leader. That's why I changed my leader to Godzilla 89 from Mechagodzilla, also so I could use his fire breath. But that combo was just so dead. It was a Exodia win condition last season, and this season it's just dead in the wall, dead on arrival, because Godzilla 89 can't do any anti-air, and this meta is all about air. But that is the tier list for the best combos this season, and these are not all the combos. There are combos that were recommended to me on Discord. So if you have a combo that you didn't see on this list that you would like to have seen, let me know down below and I'll give it a look. I can give it a test and we'll see where it goes from there. But thank you guys for watching. And like always with this tier list and the others, the JPEGs of them will be linked in the Discord. So I'll see you there.